So, today we are going to talk about heuristics. So, we're going to talk about what is heuristic and why do we use heuristics in UX? What's the point of using heuristics? Why do we need heuristics? Yeah. So, in simple language, plain language, heuristic is basically an approach to solve a problem or to make a decision. Okay. So, let's say I ask you, what do you want to eat for breakfast? Do you want to eat sandwich or omelette? Or let's say you want to eat porridge. And if you don't spend that much time thinking about it and you just instantly tell me that, let's say you want to eat a sandwich, then you made that decision based on some past experience or intuition or what information that came to your mind at that point. So, such an approach to decision making is called as a heuristic. Okay, I'll give you another example. Let's say you want to go for a walk, or you want to go trekking, or you want to go swimming, and you look out of your window and you see that it's a beautiful day, and you might enjoy going for a walk, or a trek, or a swim. So, again, you made this decision instantly. Some information popped inside your head, and you just decided that it's a good day to go for a walk. So you didn't spend that much mental energy thinking or analyzing the situation. Yeah. Now your decision could be right or wrong. Maybe, who knows, after half an hour it starts pouring, yeah, it starts raining and turns out to be a bad day to go for a walk. But at that point it seemed like a good idea. So we are not saying that when we make such decisions that such decisions are going to be right or wrong. But what we are saying is there is some approach which we use to make decisions and to solve problems, in which we don't spend any sort of mental energy. We just instantly decide how we want to deal with it. Such a thing is called as heuristic. Okay? Now, you must be wondering, what has this got to do with UX? Right. So, like I said, it is a fast and practical way to solve problems and make decisions. Similarly, when you have a website or an application, you want your users to come to your website and use it just like they use the other popular websites. Yeah, they don't think that much. They come to your website, they browse, they go through the products, find something interesting, they click on it, they add it to the cart, and they pay, and they're done. Yeah. So the entire process from browsing till checkout is so smooth, is so seamless, is so enjoyable that users don't think what's going on, behind the scenes. They just come, they like a product, they buy it. Yeah. So when we have such kind of experience, we say that you don't have any usability issues on our website. What is usability? Usability is basically ease of use. If your product is easy to use, usability wise, your website is very nice. Okay, so there are certain principles that we use. For example, you must be wondering, some conversion rate of your website is not too great, yeah, and you'd like to improve it, but you don't know how to go ahead with it, how to resolve that issue, and how to make your site such that it becomes very instinctive for your users, becomes very intuitive. So to make your website instinctive, we use certain principles, and those principles are basically the 10 principles that were created in 1994 by a person called Nielsen, and they are called the 10 usability heuristics. Okay, if you visit the website of Nelson Norman Group, you'll find those 10 principles. So that is the point of using heuristics. People like usually do a heuristic evaluation. So if you're a big company and you want to, let's say, reveal the usability issues that are there on your website, or maybe you want to find the opportunities that are there to improve the usability of your website so that your conversion rate or whatever business goals you have can be accomplished. Then what you need to do is get that checklist, get those 10 principles, and just evaluate. If you don't find any bug, let's say you go page by page, or you go feature by feature, you analyze first one feature, then you move on to second one, third one. That way you go through your entire website and evaluate it very thoroughly. Okay, and let's say you start finding issues. So, just finding issues is not enough. You need to fix them, otherwise, what's the point, right? So, normally, what people do is when they find issues, they give every issue a certain severity rating. Okay, for example, if you don't find any issue, the severity rating is 0. If you find a level 1 issue or a very basic cosmetic issue, which is low priority, you assign it a severity rating of 1. If you find something that is a little more important from the usability point of view, and you feel that this is something that needs to be fixed, let's say you assign it a priority of 2. Let's call it medium priority. If time permits, fix this issue. If you find something that is even not bad, even, let's say you find some ugly issue in which users are finding it very, very difficult to finish a certain task. You call it high priority, you assign it severity rating of 3, let's say. It's a high priority issue and you need to fix it. And if you find something that is a total disaster, like the users are not able to finish their tasks, or something funky is happening, it's a total usability disaster, you call it a blocker, you call it severity rating of 4. So when you assign such severity ratings to all those issues, you can prioritize the fixes that need to go in your next release that way. Okay, so normally the heuristic evaluation is done by experts and people who know your product very well. So they use these 10 principles that are there, heuristics, usability heuristics. They use these principles and they evaluate your product and then they find out the issues that are there and then they recommend you or they suggest you how to fix those issues. Okay, so there are a lot of issues. I won't go into that much detail. Maybe we can discuss it in the next video. But if I have to, let's say, tell you a couple, let's say three or four of them, I can quickly explain it to you so that you at least get some idea about what we are trying to do over here. So first is the visibility of system status. Okay, for example, let's say your site takes a lot of time to load and you are just displaying a blank page till the content is getting loaded. It is not a very good idea to do that because now users are stuck. They don't know whether it's going to load, whether it's got stuck, whether it's the issue with their phone, their internet connection, or your website, or whatever. Yeah. So that is the first principle, visibility of system status. You tell them that the site is loaded. Or let's say if someone is trying to buy a product and it is out of stock and you don't tell them it is out of stock. And maybe later on you tell them, oh, this product is out of stock. So things like this affect the usability or they affect the experience of the users. So that's the second one is, let's say, I'll just pick something random. I'll pick error prevention. Okay, now this is especially important for SaaS or some other enterprise level products where we have big forms and there's a lot of data that needs to be entered. And what happens is maybe the flow that you design for the product is such that it leads to errors. Okay, basically it leads to errors. And in such cases, you can't blame the user for making those errors because maybe they didn't have that much attention or they didn't have complete idea of how to go about with it. But when such things happen, it's usually the designer or the people, product people are to blame because you can't blame a user. You need to consider the scenarios, you need to consider all the use cases, and you need to try to prevent those errors in the first place. There's no point in telling the users after they have filled the complete form that, oh, this is not we were looking for in these fields. Please go and check the data you have entered. It's a horrible thing to do. Okay. You need to prevent those errors there itself. Otherwise, you're just wasting time and spoiling the user's experience. Okay. So there are 10 such principles. I've just told you a couple of them. There are many. There, like the others are using a clean, minimal, aesthetically pleasing layout, then providing enough help and documentation, then maintaining consistency across your entire website. Yeah. Then consistency with the UI conventions that are there. So following certain UI patterns so that people know how to use your website properly. Because people spend a lot of time on other websites, and when they come to your website, they expect a similar experience. And if you fail to provide that experience, user has to spend his time trying to learn how to use your website. Okay, so if we try to keep it similar to the other website that the users are using, then it's very easy for them to use. Yeah, basically ease of use, usability that way. So I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. And thank you for watching.